Has a major AEW signing just been leaked, and we have an update on the expiring contracts of two top AEW stars. But first, let's get to the quickfire headlines as we have an update on the reported backstage heat on FTR's Dax Harwood following his podcast last week, where the topic was the AEW career of CM Punk. According to Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, certain people weren't happy with some of the things that Dax said on the show, although Stephen Mulhausen of DAZN has taken to Twitter to report that it was only a select few people that had an issue, and Mulhausen would tweet, "While some weren't happy with the comments made by Dax Harwood on his podcast, it isn't as bad as it's being made out to be. Also told it's a select few who weren't happy with the podcast." Last night on AEW Dynamite, Samoa Joe would put his AEW TNT Championship on the line against Darby Allin, with the company making their debut in the challenger's hometown of Seattle. For Darby, the night would end with a fairy tale ending when he managed to overcome the size disadvantage to dethrone the king of television after two coffin drops were enough to put the big man away. The new champion would then be joined in the ring by his mentor Sting, with Darby now kicking off his second reign with the TNT Gold. Earlier in the night, the stage was set for the main event of the upcoming Revolution pay-per-view, with AEW World Champion MJF setting the path that Bryan Danielson must take to get a title match. If Bryan can win a match every week until February 8th, he will become the #1 contender for the AEW World Championship. Bryan would agree to the terms, but under one condition, and he would demand that the match take place under 60-minute Iron Man rules, with him looking to expose MJF's in-ring ability, with the story now set for the upcoming weeks. The AEW Revolution pay-per-view goes down on March 5th, live from San Francisco, California, inside the Chase Center. WWE would today announce that the Money in the Bank pay-per-view will be heading across the pond this year, with the show set to take place in London, England, with the news being broken by a press release which would read, WWE today announced that the O2 in London will host the Money in the Bank on Saturday, July 1st, 2023. Money in the Bank marks the first WWE premium live event to be held in London in over 2 decades. Money in the Bank will feature WWE's biggest superstars and will also bring the Money in the Bank ladder matches to the UK for the first time in history, with each winner receiving a briefcase containing a contract for a WWE championship at a time and place of their choosing within the next year. A top star could be heading for the exit of New Japan Pro Wrestling, this after former IWGP Heavyweight Champion Jay White challenged Hikuleo to a loser leaves town match today at the New Year Dash event. This has brought speculation on from fans that it could be Switchblade that ends up leaving the company, with many wondering what his future could hold outside of New Japan. It had been reported by Dave Meltzer that White had signed a 7-year deal in 2018, although White himself would shut this down on Twitter, a sign that the deal is actually shorter than once suggested. It could of course be the case that Hikuleo's leaving New Japan, although only time will tell. Elsewhere on New Year's Dash, a show that had no wrestlers or matches announced ahead of time and was only revealed when the entrances were made, would be headlined by a surprise tag team match that saw Jeff Cobb and Aaron Henare of the United Empire take on former rivals Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada. It was Omega and Okada that left as the winners, with Okada putting Henare away with the Rainmaker, before Cobb would then confront Omega after the match, making a challenge for the IWGP United States Championship, with him wanting the first shot at the newly won belt. The Acclaim's Max Caster is often compared to a young John Cena, who, much like the AEW Tag Team Champion, would make his way to the ring cutting a rap on his opponent during the early days of his WWE career. Speaking on the AJ Awesome show this week, Max would reveal that he sometimes hears from the former Doctor of Thuganomics and would say, "John Cena is a huge inspiration. I've never met him, but he reaches out to me from time to time. He's been very, very nice, and for my hero as a teenager to reach out to me, and in the midst of people saying, 'Oh, you're a Cena ripoff, you're just doing something that's old, we don't want to see this in wrestling now,' for him to reach out and say you're doing it the right way, sometimes he says I do it better than he did, it's his opinion. I don't know if I want to agree with that, but I believe in myself 100%, and his confidence in me only boosts me up. I don't know if he knows how much that means, but it means a lot." Impact Wrestling have released a statement to confirm that their current world champion, Josh Alexander, has broken a very impressive record in the company, with him now being the longest reigning Impact World Champion of all time. And Impact would say, Josh Alexander today becomes the longest reigning Impact Wrestling World Champion of all time. He claimed the belt on April 23, 2022 at the Rebellion pay-per-view, defeating Moose. He has now been the world champion for 257 consecutive days, surpassing Bobby Roode's 256-day world championship run that started on October 26, 2011. And next up, has a major AEW signing just been leaked? Yesterday at Wrestle Kingdom 17, Mercedes Moné made her New Japan Pro Wrestling debut, confronting and taking out IWGP Women's Champion Kairi before challenging her to a title match at the Battle in the Valley event on February 18th. With Mercedes now a free agent, many expected to fill the spot of Soraya's mystery partner next week on AEW Dynamite, something that was teased on last night's episode. AEW Women's World Champion Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker would address their upcoming opponent, as well as the mystery woman, hinting that Moné will be all elite, and Britt would say, "Jamie is the champion, I'm the boss, she's the killer, I'm the pillar, yours truly, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD." Of course, during her time in WWE as Sasha Banks, Mercedes' nickname would be The Boss, with this tease reminiscent of Darby Allin stating that he doesn't mind who his opponent will be, even if it's the best in the world, this ahead of CM Punk's debut in the company. While Saraya would announce that Toni Storm will be in her corner for the match, DAZN's Stephen Mulhausen would confirm that this actually won't be the case by the time the bell rings, with a swerve seemingly on the way, and Stephen would tweet, "Mercedes Varnado will be Soraya's partner next week on AEW Dynamite in LA against Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Couldn't announce or make a major hint due to her being still under contract at WWE until the beginning of 2023. This means that we will likely see Toni Storm removed from the match before it happens, with Mercedes taking over. Following her Wrestle Kingdom appearance, Mercedes would tell the press that it was just stop 1 on her World Domination tour, and if the report is to be believed, stop 2 will be next week on AEW Dynamite. And next we have an update on the expiring contracts of 2 top AEW stars. As we recently discussed in an upcoming free agents video, the AEW contracts of the Young Bucks are set to expire at the end of 2023, around the same time that MJF's deal comes to an end. A report would recently emerge from Fightful Select that revealed Matt and Nick Jackson have been in discussions over new deals, although there was no information provided on specific terms or if the deals had even been signed, but this was word going around the locker room. Since then, the topic was discussed on Wrestling Observer Radio by Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez, who would confirm that AEW did in fact reach out to the Bucks over negotiating new contracts for the brother duo, but official talks have not yet begun for whatever reason, and Dave would say, "Their contract is up at the end of the year and AEW does want to lock them in. AEW contacted them and wants to start the negotiations, but there have been no negotiations as of today, and they are certainly not close to a deal. They have not started negotiations yet, but AEW has contacted them saying that they want to sign them to a new deal, a multi-year deal, so that's where the Young Bucks story's at right now." As for the short term, the Young Bucks will be teaming up with Kenny Omega next Wednesday on Dynamite for the 7th and final meeting in their series with the Death Triangle for the AEW Trios Championships, with it taking place in a ladder match, this inside the Los Angeles Forum. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 upcoming wrestling free agents that you need to know.